Every student has his own financial as well as social background. When coming to scholarship, to me, scholarship is like an additional feather to a student's hat to keep him motivated and inspired to work harder and excel in academics. So, as a student receiving this extra feather in my hat, I feel like I'm having an additional responsibility to carry this legacy forward. So, for the upcoming students who are willing to apply for TAPME and getting this scholarship, I would say that would be a pretty much wiser decision at this time, because TAPME will look only for your merits, nothing extra.
Hi, I'm Rohan. I'm from Mangalore itself. I'm a mechanical engineering graduate. I've worked in the IT industry, I worked in the supply chain industry as well.
Actually, I'm Siragiri Velan from PGDM core program. I was born and brought up in a rural village in Tamil Nadu. I always had a passion towards missions and operations. So I completed my mechanical engineering in Coimbatore Institute of Technology in Tamil Nadu. Later, I joined as an operations engineer in L&T Constructions under machinery department.
I was not really studious to any extent. I was average at best when it came to my 10th, 12th, and even engineering. Engineering is somewhere I started to get a little more serious towards my academics because it was a little more focused towards what I liked doing. So that is where, again, I wouldn't say studious. It was more interest-driven. When I was something that I'm interested in, I used to perform. Else, I would really not focus on it. So that's how I used to be. But then, over a period of time, a bit of seriousness does kick in, and then you start performing, and it becomes a learning experience at the end of the day.
Basically, my father is a temple priest, so I was born and brought up in a Orthodox family. So it's all about punctuality, honesty, and morality. It's like they are naturally imbibed within me, so I don't need to learn it separately. So added to this, I was in a rural village. It's not like a proper village kind of thing. It's a mixed, like it's getting developed. So during my 9th standard, I was undergoing a project where I developed a simulation working platform for irrigation in agricultural, drop irrigation kind of thing. So I got a district level first prize in that. After that point, I got interested towards mechanical engineering specifically. So
when I was making a switch to TAPME, I didn't have 100% clarity as to this is exactly where I want to be, but I had seen the kind of roles that are coming to the college, and the kind of companies that are coming to the college. So definitely I saw like a good space that I could aim towards. And again, the curriculum here as well, the first year that we've got, it gives you a chance to explore different, you get to test the waters before you finally choose a specialization in the second year. So definitely that played a role where I was not extremely certain as to where I want to be, but over the course of the year, definitely it gave some more clarity, the kind of courses that were there, the kind of subjects that were taught, and the way they were taught.
The point where I decided to do an MBA is I was working in a construction site with heavy machineries. There, I got to work with digitalization of a heavy machinery. That means heavy machinery here, I mean tower cranes. So while working that, technically I was so good, but explaining the financial aspect behind the digitalization of part of that machinery is very difficult for me at that time. So my senior manager advised me to look into these financial aspects by doing an MBA. Actually, he only guided me over this. During the day one of the admission process itself, our college encouraged all our students to apply for this Dr. Ramdas Pai Merit Scholarship. There we have 4 categories under this scholarship. I got selected for the 4th category. This category will look for the students with their merits as well as their financial background. For assessing financial background, the college will check for IT return statements of the student for the past 3 years. And we have to write a letter explaining our statement of purpose for this scholarship. And the final selection procedures are fairly based on merit. So basically, as I already told, during that, when I was joining here, the pandemic was hitting the nation. Added to that, my father got retired just a month before joining TAPME. So I would say I'm really thankful enough to be the recipient of this scholarship. To be frank, my father never liked me getting out of L&T for the first time, and he was not trusting me till I get this scholarship. Like I was doing something for just passing out during this pandemic lockdowns. He was not trusting me. Okay, I'm just doing something in my home. But after getting this scholarship and I was telling him I got this, I reduced my fee structure around 4.5. Actually, I was like, starting from 9th standard, I never asked my parent a single penny. It was through scholarships or other achievements. I was managing myself. So he got to know that this 4.5 lakhs burden has been reduced from my loan structure. I was very happy at that time, and he was thankful to the institute.
I got a 95 percentile plus in the entrance exams. From there, it's a pretty straightforward process where you have to meet a minimum criteria of 7 GPA, and if you're able to maintain that, you get the entirety of the scholarship. Else, only the first year part of it will be the scholarship for you. Second year, you'll not be able to continue the scholarship. So that's where the entire thing came in. This process was pretty straightforward. If you have scored 95 percentile plus, the top 20, I think, top 20 people get this particular scholarship. From there, you just maintain the 7 GPA and it just continues forward.
SOP, for me, I did a process mapping over there. Starting from my 10th standard, I did a process map over what are the steps that I have covered, 10th, 12th, college, etc. Along with the particular achievements and contributions from me towards the college as well as towards L&T construction. So this process mapping along with achievements helped me getting this scholarship.
So term 1 was a little hectic, definitely, because again, not academically strong, but that is where I think the institution part came into picture, because it's a new subject altogether for me. These are things that I've not learned in the past, let's say accounting and so on. So they're very, very different subjects for me. So the way they were taught, were very interesting, which is where if I'm interested, like I mentioned, if I'm interested, I'll definitely, I tend to perform in those subjects. So the way the subjects were taught, I think played a really good role there. Apart from that, the seniors here, when there used to be times where I used to be a little low about, will I be able to get where I want to be, will I be able to match the 7 GPA criteria. So at that point, definitely the seniors were there. I used to call up my seniors and like, okay, what am I doing? How do I, increase or what subjects do I focus on and so on. So these are the kind of things they guided me as to what could be my strong points, because they have already been through the first year, right? So they already know what to expect and how to go about getting the marks that you want. So definitely that part of it, seniors were always there, and the way the curriculum was designed, the way it was taught, played a significant role in me meeting the criteria from there on.
When we are facing our faculties, they are looking at us as a recipient of this scholarship. So that means we have to excel in, we excel in not only in subjects, but also internship as well. So the way they guided me, I would say an example here. During my internship with the largest auto component manufacturer, Brex India Limited, I approached one of my faculties during weekend, that too post 9 o'clock. He was not my faculty mentor at that time, but he is ready to accept my call, and we were in discussion for about 1 or 2 hours. So that is the kind of commitment our faculties has towards our career. So maybe these are the indirect things that motivated me.
The scholarship is a thing that you should definitely eye for, given the amount of benefits that you get, because there's one thing that pretty much every student looks for when you're trying to join a B school is the ROI. So return on investment is something that everyone looks at, and this thing definitely changes the equation there. So you get a 30% fee waiver, it changes the game for you.
Every student has his own financial as well as social background. When coming to scholarship, to me, scholarship is like an additional feather to a student's hat to keep him motivated and inspired to work harder and excel in academics. So as a student receiving this extra feather in my hat, I feel like I'm having an additional responsibility to carry this legacy forward. So for the upcoming students who are willing to apply for TAPME and getting this scholarship, I would say that would be a pretty much wiser decision at this time, because TAPME will look only for your merits, nothing extra.